Welcome to this third part of our stick on nail. We started from the prep stage, and in this part now, we are going to be doing the gel polish application. After you finish filing and acquiring your desired shape, the next thing you're going to do is to buff the surface of the tips to make it smooth and ready to receive your gel polish or whatever kind of polish you are going to be using. I make use of the smooth buffer and the rough buffer. Using this smooth buffer, I will buff the surface of the nail. So that I can apply the polish, there will no ends or bumps on the surface of my nail. My job is to everything and smooth. After buffing this surface is so smooth, very smooth. You take your hard buffer and use the hard buffer for the under of the nail to take out these excesses that came out from your filing process. Now your nail is smooth and ready to receive polish. Before you polish your nail, you first of all apply your foundation. This is the gelish product. They prefer to call it the foundation, but some other brands it is written base coat. So your foundation and your base coat, they are both the same thing depending on the brand, but it is very necessary to use this, especially on a stick on nail. You see this artificial tip. Whenever you use your artificial tip and there is no acrylic overlay on it and you want to polish, it is very essential to use your foundation because gel polish does not stick very well. This artificial tips, it will peel off, it will not last. In fact, before the next day your client will call you and start complaining. So please always use your foundation or your base coat. That is why it is called a base coat. You use it first before any other thing. Now you apply your base coat. Do not put too much and do not put too little. Just put enough for the coverage. If you put too much, it will be overflowing. After applying your foundation, you cure. What I mean by curing is to dry. You dry it in your LED dryer or your UV dryer. Now the base coat has been cured. I allowed this to cure for 60 seconds. So we are going to apply our gel coat. I'm using a pink gel polish. Now, in applying your gel polish, you don't just take your gel polish and start brushing. There are precautions to applying a gel polish. You see this gel polish, it overflows, it runs. The gel polish does not dry except you put it in a dryer. And while you are trying to polish your job, you know you're going to polish this finger, the next finger, the next, and the next, all 5 fingers before your client will now have to put her hand in the dryer. And while you are moving from this finger to the other finger, before you get to the last finger, the gel polish you applied on this first finger would have overflowed into the cuticle area and even further to the skin, and making your job look messy, and you don't want that. So when you want to apply your gel polish, don't take too much of it. I'm not trying to say you should not take a lot, but don't take too much of it. That is why it is a standard to do the coat twice. You don't do one coat. You cannot do the full coverage in one coating. So you do 2 coats and don't take a lot of the polish. And when you want to apply the polish, start from the tip, Don't rush to the edge of the nails. You see how I'm doing it from the tip. Now I'm leaving the edge out because I will take my time to do the edge. You see this edge, as easy as it looks, it is very technical for you to apply your gel polish there. You don't just rush to apply gel polish at the edge of your nail. This is an art brush. Using this art brush, I'm going to carefully apply my gel polish to the edges of my nail bed. So this is our first coat. You can see how I have finally defined the edge using the art brush. This way there is no stain around the cuticle area or any overflow of the polish into the skin or into the cuticle. So now I would leave her to cure this and come back before we do the second coat. Our first coat has been cured. Now I'm going in with our second coat. It's with this second coat we are going to have a full coverage. Now with this second coat, there's no need to go close to the cuticle area again. We already defined it in our first coat. Just polish this other area and you're fine. Don't go very close to there, just slightly and carefully, so that you don't ruin it, because you don't have to start using your art brush to define that place again. So I'm going to let her cure this. Our second coat has been cured. After drying the second coat, what you will do now is to apply your top coat. This is the top coat, is what you put at the end of everything. You top it off to give it a finish shine, to give it that gloss. Don't put too much and don't put too little. Like I said, it overflows. If you put too much, it's going to overflow and it will ruin your job. Now this is our top coat. I'm going to let her dry this, and that is it. Here you have your full stick on nail. We have done the full stick on nail from the prep stage to this finish stage. You can see how neat this job is looking. You can see how clean it is looking. With this, you can charge a good amount of money. Any client will be happy to have this done. You see how clean and neat it is looking. This is not rocket science. It is simply adhering to simple instructions and paying attention to little details. You understand me? So this is the end of this class. I want you to go and practice and show me your working. Thank you very much. I'll see you in our next class, where we will be discussing acrylic application.